Hello and welcome back to another video. My name's Shelby, and on this channel I talk about book marketing tips and social media strategy for creative entrepreneurs. Today I'm going to be diving into your questions. I asked my clients and my Instagram followers for questions about book marketing, social media, author branding, all of the things, and I'm going to dive into a variety of questions today. So let's just dive right into it. And also linked in the description, I have a new freebie for you. It is 10 tools I use every week to market my books as an author. If you want to get on my email list and grab this freebie, I send out free book marketing tips every single Monday, so be sure to grab that in the description below. Let's get started with our questions. The first question comes from Carlin, and Carlin asked, if you could choose 3 areas to primarily focus on to build long-term author business success, which would you recommend? Now, I love this question, and I think that it is so important to be thinking long term if you want to have a career as an author in which you make a good amount of side income or you make a living, which I think is the case for a lot of people. So my answer to this question is number 1, I think just market research and knowing your genre inside and out and investing in learning more about making a good book equals long-term success. I know that I just listed multiple things, but I feel like they all go into one category of just research and education and learning. Knowing your genre really well, knowing what readers are looking for in your genre, knowing what covers will land really well in the marketplace, knowing how to write a solid book description, all of this goes into that one key aspect of putting out a marketable book. So that is number 1. Number 2 would be a consistent brand, because I think that having a consistent author brand is really, really important in building loyalty for your readers. I talked about this in a recent video, so I'll go ahead and link that up here somewhere about author brand. And I am building out an entire course right now on social media marketing. It's going to be everything you need to know to be successful on social media as an author and build that consistent author brand and that loyal following. So I'm really excited to dive into that further, but I think that that is a piece that can be often overlooked. Having a consistent look and feel to your books, whenever you think about your favorite authors, what comes to mind in terms of the types of books they're writing and the type of feelings that you get from reading the work and looking at their marketing materials if you're following them on social media or their website or their email newsletter. So I would say that consistency is really, really important too. And the third thing is marketing consistently. Whatever methods of marketing you enjoy and can stay consistent with are going to be the best methods. Yes, there might be some things that work better for you, but if you never do them or you hate doing them and dread putting an ad together or filming TikTok videos, even though I'm a huge advocate of TikTok, as you might already know, if you don't like it, that's okay. You shouldn't be doing something that you hate doing, that you dread doing. And so picking a marketing strategy that you're going to show up and do and enjoy is going to get you farther than something that you have to force yourself to do, because you're probably not going to be doing it very often and not putting your all into it. That being said, for a long-term author career, I do recommend that you pick a couple different ways to market, one of them being something that you own, which for most of us would be an email list. I think that that is a crucial piece to a long-term author career, is owning that data of your buyers, of people that are really interested in your books and want that free chapter that you give out or that free story and continue to engage with you on your email list, as well as having some social media platforms or some paid ads, whatever it may be. So combining them can be really, really powerful when it comes to marketing and that long-term author career, that your readers have a way of connecting with you, whether it's on social or on your email list or both. That is the place and the way to build loyalty over time and keep your readers coming back for more. Okay, the next question is, I really want to be a faceless brand. Honestly, in today's social media world, is that possible? Okay, so my answer is 2 parts to this one too. Sorry for dragging everything out. The answer is yes. Yes, you can. And there are many authors who have pen names and don't want to show their face, kind of keep things a little bit more anonymous. And my answer is 2 parts, because I also did this in the beginning of my career as a writer. I was anonymous and I was sharing my work online without my name attached to it. And I was very cognizant of the fact that I didn't want to show my face. But whenever I did overcome that fear, which was not immediate, it took time, my sales skyrocketed. And I felt like I could be myself. I felt like I had people actually enjoying me and my work and not just being this faceless name that people were reading my work but didn't know anything about who I was. And that doesn't mean you have to show everything about yourself. There are, of course, things that I keep private in my life, and you should too. But I think that it can be really powerful for connecting with readers. If you are not comfortable with that, if it is a safety issue, if it is just your personal decision, I'm never going to sit here and say, no, you have to show your face, because that's not true. You can definitely be successful without showing your face. So I wanted to show both perspectives and say if it is because of self-doubt or insecurities and not because of a safety issue, I would love for you to try to work toward that and work toward overcoming that, because it has done wonders for my own self-doubt and insecurities too. And so I never want an author to be held back because of that. But if it is because of like a safety issue or a job issue, if you don't want people knowing that you write a certain genre or whatever it is, I completely understand that, and still be consistent with marketing, still show up and market your book confidently, but you don't have to show your face. I hope that relieves any stress that you may have about that. Okay, the next question is going to be how to gain a loyal audience before your book is ready or before you have anything to sell. So I love this question because I work with authors a lot on this. A couple of my monthly coaching clients right now are prepping for having their book out. So they are working on building up their brand and their audience and getting those loyal readers ready to go before their book is even out. So it's definitely possible. I think the first step would be starting to think about what types of readers you are looking for, what types of readers will be perfect for your work, and starting to do that research into your genre. So like I said in the beginning of this video, knowing your genre inside and out is going to be key for this. So starting with research, starting with searching on social media for comparable books to the types that you want to write or are currently writing, looking at the hashtags that they're using, the keywords that they're using, what they're talking about in these books that they really, really love. That doesn't mean you have to change your book to fit that, but just having a sense of the types of things that people are talking about that they really enjoy in your genre will really help. Doing that market research of good covers, of solid book descriptions, all of those things are going to set you up for success for launching your debut novel. The next thing that I would do is set up a reader magnet. So this could be a free first chapter of a book you're working on, or maybe a short story. If you're in the nonfiction world, is there sort of a freebie guide, tips, short stories about yourself if it's a memoir, something like that you can put together and offer for free for getting on your email list. And from there, starting to nurture those readers and give them updates about your journey as an author, what you're currently working on, why you're writing this book. You're starting to build that email list. And to promote that email list, I definitely recommend being on social media. Even if you don't have a book yet, that does not mean you are not an author. You are working on a book and you should start talking about it. So making those author pages on Instagram, on TikTok, wherever your ideal audience is from the research that you did, and start talking about your books. Start thinking about the different content pillars that you can talk about that your readers might be interested in. Talk about other books in your genre. Start to get to know other readers and other authors. And over time, you'll start to build up that loyal community of readers. But just make sure that you're sprinkling in that you're working on a book. If it's not far out, start revealing the cover, start revealing the title, start revealing some of the plot, or what your readers are going to learn from reading your book. So all of this should be done over time so that whenever your book is out, you already have this email list and you have this following on social media who has been warmed up to you talking about your book, and they know you already and they're ready to buy. So that's what I would recommend for building up your audience before your book is out. And I wish you the best of luck with putting together your book. The next question is TikTok still a good place to sell your book? Oh my gosh. So there's been a lot going on with TikTok, right? If you're in America, you might have heard of some of the talk about bans, and there have been some other countries banning it for their government workers and things like that. First of all, I want to say that if TikTok were to get banned, I do believe that it will come back, or other platforms will pop up. And my other thing with that is that short form video is not going anywhere. There's a reason that it is so popular. And so continuing to use TikTok and learn what really works is amazing research and insight into Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, Clapper, which is another short form video app that I talked about in a recent video as well, is not going anywhere. So I'm still continuing to use TikTok daily. It is still doing amazing things for my books. I've had both of my most recent books in the top 1,000 books bestseller lists in just the past couple of weeks from TikToks that have done really well. It is still working, and I am not going to stop using it until it's no longer available for me, which I'm fingers crossed is not going to happen. So if you want to learn more about how TikTok can work for you, I will link my how to use TikTok to sell books video. I've done a couple of videos on the TikTok platform before, and I have an entire guide on it as well that I can link in the description for you, but I highly recommend it. It is an amazing, amazing platform. I am popping in from the future because there are a few new questions about TikTok that I think would be a really good fit for this section. So I'm going to answer those in the middle of this video. I'm gonna kind of rapid fire through these. If you make a video on TikTok, how do you post it to Instagram? So I typically record all of my short form videos directly from my camera gallery so that I always have the original footage saved in my phone without the TikTok watermark, without TikTok's music added to it, because a lot of these platforms like when you use their features. So that's what I typically do. However, if I do decide to use TikTok to add text and music and all of that, I will use a free website called Snaptic, and you just put the link to your TikTok video in there, copy paste it in, and download it to your phone without the watermark, and then you can post it to Instagram, YouTube Shorts. This person also asked, do you have to pick different music when you post it to Instagram, or can you use the same copyright music added from TikTok? So that's where it's a little bit tricky, and that's why I do recommend that you always have the original saved in your phone first, and then you add music within Instagram and add music from the TikTok library in TikTok, because both of these platforms have different music licenses, and you want to try to use their native features as much as possible. So that is typically what I recommend, but you absolutely can post to Instagram with TikTok's music. Maybe it would get blocked. I haven't really heard of anything like that happening, so I'm not a lawyer, not giving legal advice on this. My best bet is to add music natively within each platform. Stephanie said, I'm still making my way through the BOOKTOK blueprint, so apologies if this is in there. Some of the music stuff is covered, but I didn't really cover a lot about cross-posting to Instagram because I also have an Instagram guide, so I wanted to keep both of them separate, but no worries at all. Great questions, and hopefully that helped. The next question is, are there common hashtags you use to market your poetry books on the socials? Thank you, Cheryl, for that question. Honestly, there really are not, and I'll talk about poetry books really quick, and then I'll talk about just hashtags for all books in general. Poetry is really unique in that there are a lot of different topics that can be written about within poetry. And so yes, there are general hashtag poetry book, hashtag poetry books, hashtag poetry TikTok is a good one for TikTok. And those are a little bit more general, but what you really also want to do is think about the ideal readers who are going to be looking for your collection and the themes you're talking about in your collection. So if you are writing about grief, someone might not be thinking about, I'm going to look at hashtag poetry books to see if there are any grief books. They might be thinking, I wonder if there's any inspirational quotes about grief, or the grief journey, or the healing journey. And those are hashtags that you want to use instead. And the same goes for books about relationships or divorce or whatever your topics are and themes are in your books. That's what you want to be thinking about for your hashtags. And the same goes with other genres as well. So you want to be specific to your genre and the exact plot points that happen within your genre. If there's certain tropes that are really popular, if there are certain lessons that someone would be reading your book to learn, these are the types of things you want to be thinking about when you use hashtags on social media. And again, I keep coming back to it because it's so important. That market research, that hashtag research, that keyword research, looking at what other readers are saying about the books that they are enjoying is prime research for us. We are literally tapping into the minds of readers who are already reading these books and enjoying them and saying exactly what they love about them, using the hashtags that they would use to find other books that they would enjoy. So it's perfect research on social media. So I definitely recommend doing that. The next question is from someone who is struggling to show up consistently on social media. And this is definitely a tricky one. A lot of authors that I work with have other jobs to tend to. You're a parent, you have people to care for, things to care for, other priorities to balance. It can be a lot. So really, this takes some testing to find out what works for you. Does spending a couple hours while creating posts work for you? And maybe you've scheduled them out. You use a social media scheduling platform. Maybe you will create and just know that each day or every other day, however often you're posting, you need to hop onto Instagram and post it, and you already have it done. Maybe you are someone who just likes to post when they feel like it and you come up with it on the day and you post it. That's what I do a lot of the time, to be honest. So just because I'm a social media marketer doesn't mean that I necessarily schedule everything. I definitely do sometimes, but I just like to go off of what I'm feeling that day usually. So a lot of different things can work for different people. But the number one thing I would say about consistency is that doesn't mean every single day. You can post 2-3 times a week and show up 2-3 times a week on a consistent basis, and that is you being consistent. So I think that there is a myth that you have to be posting multiple times a day and you're never going to grow if you don't post multiple times a day or show up every single day. And that is not the case. So a lot of the times I will recommend 2 to 3 times per week, especially when you're first starting out and it can feel very overwhelming. And then if you are able to build up from there, you can. But it's definitely not necessary. So show up however you can show up. Know that consistency is important, yes, but so is quality, engaging content. So if you can do that once a week or twice a week, then you are doing amazing. All right, so those are all the questions I'm going to answer for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have follow-up questions, I would love to do another Q&A video in the future, so feel free to put them down below, and I would love to answer them next time. Please be sure to like and subscribe for new videos every single Sunday. I am putting out new book marketing videos. And like I mentioned, I'm working on this really exciting course that I cannot wait to tell you more about soon. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and do not forget to promote your book this week. Bye.